Welcome to Engagement Fundraising, where you'll learn how busy fundraisers like you are generating more major and planned gifts at lower costs. Brought to you by iMarketSmart.com, the software and services company that helps nonprofits raise more money more efficiently.
That's why people volunteer. Of course, they're trying to help, but they're trying to build community. They're trying to build relationships. They're trying to build a relationship, even if it's not with the people who are also volunteers. They're trying to build a relationship with the mission.
Hi there. Welcome to Engagement Fundraising. I'm Tim Chen, Marketing Solutionist at MarketSmart. On today's episode, I sit down with Greg Warner to discuss donor wants, needs, and interests, and how you as a fundraiser can identify what those are. Not sure what engagement fundraising is or what your donors' wants, needs, or interests are? Well, you will soon. Wants, needs, interests.
All right, so we're going philosophical today. This is
we're getting deep.
Ooh, deep. Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get philosophical today.
Yeah, this is going to be a deep episode. Dive into some stuff.
Okay. I'm down with philosophy. I actually took a course in philosophy, and at the time I could do it pass-fail. In other words, you could either pass it or you could fail it. So you could do the bare minimum in the class, and I took it pass-fail.
Yeah.
Because I figured I was going to fail it.
Sure.
I didn't think I was a very philosophical person. This is back in college, of course. And I wasn't thinking very philosophically, but I ended up getting like A+++ on everything. And I was like, I can't believe I wasted my pass-fail
on
that. But you got 2 pass-fail classes. So the next one I took was one I knew I was going to fail for sure. That was physics.
Okay.
And I ended up getting straight A's on everything in that too. But guess which set of classes I did fail?
Writing? No, not writing.
Come on.
I was thinking, so you're good with the analytical stuff.
Business school. Anything in the business school, I failed.
At first I was going to say like art class, but you're good at that.
No,
too.
I was voted class artist. I got accepted to art schools in New York City, fancy art schools where people only wear black outfits and black nail polish and everything's black.
Very goth.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was scared. I was a preppy guy from New Jersey, but back in the 80s, we all wore our collars up. You ever see those 80s movies? No. All right. I digress, right? Where do I... Philosophy.
And how you're good at every class except for business.
Business, yes. Everybody told me I was dumb and I was a failure. So just in case, by the way, in case you're ever...
You're told that as well.
No. Schools are really good at making people feel dumb. Mm-hmm. No offense to people at schools, but a lot of schools really do that. So much so, and now we're really getting deep, psychoanalyzing me, but when I was a kid, I always felt dumb. I don't want to blame anybody, but some people sort of made me feel dumb, and the schools didn't help. And failing out of the business school at my university didn't help either. But that is, in fact, why I named the company MarketSmart. Because I said to myself, if I, by some measure, succeed, then all those years later, I can say I'm sticking my thumb in the eye of all those people.
To everyone that
this
says,
is my
no,
revenge. Yes, it
I love
Market Smart, and I love when people say, that survey or that something you did that is really smart, and I say, Market Smart. Yeah, so there you go. What were we talking about today anyway?
So today's topic is needs versus interests versus wants and how that relates to you as a fundraiser.
Right, okay.
So there's a couple examples we can dive into. The first, I think, that we should dive into is a personal one for you with diabetes.
Right.
How it's a want for you to cure it and a need for your wife to cure it, as that's something she has, and an interest of both of yours to accomplish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's I guess, first example.
So there's wants, needs, and there's interests, and they really become kind of like a soup. Mm-hmm. And they get mixed together. And in a minute, I'm going to talk about the Rubiks Cube, which is the way I really see this. But each donor has their very own wants, needs, and interests. My wife truly needs a cure for diabetes, right? Sure, I could say I need it, but I definitely don't need it the way she needs it. Mm-hmm. I want it.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to what an organization is doing, I would say that I'm most interested in the new advances in the scientific breakthroughs. Now, interestingly, my wife, although she needs a cure, is not interested in the scientific breakthroughs. You want to know why?
Very curious, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Is it because the scientific breakthroughs will take so long to become something?
Yeah. Since she was 9, she's been hearing that there's something just around the corner. And when you've had it for like 30, 40 years, you get tired of hearing that there's another breakthrough right around the corner.
Yeah, you don't want to hear about it until it's available for you.
Yeah. So for us, we're two people in the same family sitting side by side, sleeping side by side, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And our wants, needs, and interests are so very different. So instead of a stew, I like to call it more like a Rubik's Cube. But imagine a Rubik's Cube with lots and lots more squares on each side. So imagine a Rubik's Cube with lots and lots of squares. And it's all mixed up. So each square pertains to a person's wants, needs, interests, how they want to give, how recently they've engaged, whether or not they have any interest in a legacy gift, if they want to give a major donation, appreciated assets, if they've ever thought about leaving the organization as a beneficiary in their insurance policy. I mean, there's a million little pieces. And when it comes to the Rubik's Cube, if you mix that up, there's almost an infinite number of variations. Everybody's Rubik's Cube is different. And this is a massive challenge for fundraisers to unscramble that and make sense of each individual's Rubik's Cube so that the fundraiser, as a facilitator and a matchmaker, is really creating the offer that provides the most value to each individual donor, which could be different for the husband and the wife.
They'll be throwing that cube against the wall.
Mind blowing, right?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
This is why I have so much empathy for fundraisers, because they have to go on these discovery expeditions to figure out what makes everybody tick.
Best method would be one-on-one interviews, right?
Yeah, those are donor discovery visits, qualification visits. I mean, let's face it, once you look at a Rubik's Cube, you may realize that this isn't really a good fit. You don't care about nature, apparently. You're a homebody, and what you really care about is helping the hungry. So if you don't care about the trees and the squirrels,
there's nothing you could say to them that would encourage them to give.
Right. The wants, needs, and interests, they just don't align. The whole trick of raising money is to align people's interests, wants, and needs with what value the nonprofit, the charity, the institution can deliver to the donor. How can we help them realize the best version of themselves? How about that?
It's pretty good.
Philosophizing.
So your job is to figure all that out. And every person has a hierarchy of needs. Maslow came up with this.
Right.
And you fit on there somewhere.
Who, me?
As a nonprofit.
Oh, as a nonprofit.
Yeah, as a nonprofit. Helping them feel good, helping them find meaning in their life.
Well, let's bang out those hierarchy of needs just in case some people didn't take psychology class at some point. It's kind of like your most basic needs, your foundational, most elemental needs are that of food, water, shelter.
Sleep. You'll die if you don't have sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
So these are the most basic needs. Then you need safety and security.
You
need to be part of a community. Find love. Build relationships with others, which, by the way, is the beginning of when people engage with charities, is they're looking for a relationship. It's very much like a family relationship.
Yeah, they want that community aspect from your nonprofit in many ways.
Yeah, that's why people volunteer. Of course, they're trying to help, but they're trying to build community. They're trying to build relationships. They're trying to build a relationship, even if it's not with the people who are also volunteers. They're trying to build a relationship with the mission. So next up is, it's like status
dignity, right? Is that kind of what
Dignity,
it is? Status, respect?
Yeah, it's more a feeling of accomplishment. In business, maybe it's that you succeeded and you built a business, but it could be just the satisfaction of knowing that you raised children and they are now making contribution to the world.
Yeah, if you volunteered at Habitat for Humanity, you built a house, and that's something very available that you can see that you've done.
Yeah, and then the final level, according to Maslow, is to find meaning in one's life, right? Mm-hmm. Finding meaning is very deep. Being okay with yourself and feeling like you had a good reason for being here.
Yeah.
And you fulfilled some purpose is something that a lot of people yearn to get to that level. But what's amazing and what's fantastic about philanthropy is that people with a lot of money don't have to worry about a lot of the foundational elements because they've accomplished all that stuff. They've got all that.
Yeah.
So they don't have much left. All that's left is to find meaning in your life.
Yeah. And for some, that's really hard. You can be as successful as anyone outwardly could see, but you could still be hopeless and empty. This could all be for naught if you don't find meaning, right?
My definition of success is the pursuit of a worthy goal, and I didn't make that up. I mean, that way you're successful as you're pursuing worthy goals. The journey is success.
Yeah.
While you're on that road pursuing worthy goals.
And that's the important word, worthy. Because
worthy
if you're
goals.
just pursuing just random goals, it'll be all for naught.
Yeah, and look, it could be a drug dealer.
Sure.
But then you're not successful. See, there's a big difference between achievement and success. Unfortunately, the media, and America especially, doesn't concentrate on teaching people how to be successful. We confuse success with achievement. Mm-hmm. So when some celebrity or rock star or rapper or professional ball player or something scores the touchdown or gets the hit song or whatever, they'll say they're successful. They're not successful. They're achieving something, but they're not successful because then that same football player beat his girlfriend in the elevator and the rock star is caught selling drugs and the rapper shoots another rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I went off on a tangent here, but I don't really like the idea that people confuse and conflate achievement with success.
And success isn't a destination.
Achievement is a destination. Success is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Most people who are truly successful spend a lot of time thinking about their goals, pursuing goals, and they feel like they're accomplished all throughout the journey.
Yeah, their achievements will be byproducts of their successful motivations and journey.
Exactly. It's about the journey. Who is it? Miley Cyrus? No. Miley Cyrus had a song, and I only know this because, of course, I had a young daughter when the song came out.
Naturally.
Well, I still have a young daughter, but I mean, the song came out. I think it was called "It's the Climb." Do you know that song?
I don't. No.
No. As if she knew all of this philosophy. Not. But somebody wrote that song for her, and it's actually really great lyrics. But think about this now. A lot of older, wealthy people, I love using Oprah as the example, when she was very wealthy, but she started deciding how she wanted to give money away because she realized, well, it feels good to give money away, but she was doing it wrong. She learned she was doing it wrong because she would just give people cars. Everybody would get a car. She's giving away a lot of cars. Yeah. Well, what is she achieving or what is she pursuing by doing that? She wasn't successfully philanthropic because she wasn't pursuing a worthy goal. It wasn't a really worthy goal to just flim-flam give people cars. But when she started giving her money away to build schools in Africa where people really needed them, that's pursuing a worthy goal.
Yeah, impacting society versus individuals.
Yeah, so she learned how to be a donor from being a donor to become a philanthropist, and she got her wants, needs, and interests satisfied as she learned. Most donors, major donors, most of them don't know how to be philanthropists. They really don't. It's not something that they learn. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Part of the job of the charity and the institution and the fundraiser is to help teach them or help them self-navigate this experience at the very pinnacle of Maslow's hierarchy of needs to help them find meaning in their lives. That's what you can do for your supporters, is give them an opportunity to engage with that part of their humanity on your website. Mm-hmm. If you're the one helping them and teaching them how to be a hero in their own life story and commemorate somebody and find meaning by giving, if you help them do that, they're more likely to give to you, kind of in the same regard as the software company that gives me a webinar and gives me an ebook and helps me learn about how I can do my job better is the software company I'm probably going to buy their software.
Right.
So that's what nonprofits need to do in helping philanthropists be philanthropists. Not too many do it, but that's how we create our content for our clients. And I think the donors really appreciate it because you're providing value to them so they can find meaning in their life, and that satisfies their wants, needs, and interests.
This episode is brought to you by us here at iMarketSmart.com. Learn about a free webinar you can access right now in this quick break. Today's free resource is the webinar Diane Remen recorded for us walking you through how to ask for major gifts, which is available at iMarketSmart.com/Remen. That's REMIN. Here's what you'll learn by tuning in. The anatomy of an ask, the ask language, tips for creating immediate rapport and questions that will tell you lots about the donor very quickly, how to qualify, what to look for, then how much to ask for. Visit iMarketSmart.com/Remen to access it. That's www.iMarketSmart.com/Remen, REMIN. Now back to donor wants, needs, and interests. For the pyramid, the higher up in Maslow's pyramid you get, the higher value gifts you'll get.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
They can't even be a philanthropist if they don't have their other needs met.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that shows that they have capacity if they're able to meet those needs. If not, they're not trying to find meaning in their life when they have so much capacity, so much money. They're either a jerk.
They're really young.
They got the money given to them. I'm being really mean to some people out there, but
very stereotypical towards that. That were handed.
Even some that were handed it, they were taught by their parents that it's important to give back. What does Spider-Man say? Those with great power have great responsibility. Spider-Man. Yeah.
Very wise.
Very
comic.
wise words. That's Stan Lee. He's something.
He's
still alive.
He's still alive. He's a man. Does all the cameos in all the movies.
He's great. Yeah. Look, I learned everything I could from superheroes. I may have failed out of business school, but I sure could read a comic book. It's a lot of pictures. Yeah. Okay, so what else you got on this?
Well, we had here different ways nonprofits can fit into this pyramid. I'm not sure if it's worth going over some of those.
If you think about the Rubiks Cube analogy that I came up with, and you conduct that donor discovery to find out their wants, needs, and interests, and then you monitor digital body language to understand who's hot now or when.
Yeah.
And you watch where they're clicking to see if their interests and needs and wants were true in the donor discovery, because a lot of times people will lie. It's not that they're mean. Look, every human being lies. I know we make a big deal out of it when politicians lie, but everybody lies.
Social pressure. I want to feel good, and they may lie to in the donor discovery.
Yeah.
Out of that.
Look, whenever money is involved, people will say things that aren't quite true. If you've ever been asked by a salesperson, you're looking at a bunch of TVs somewhere like at Best Buy or J.H. Gregg.
Sure.
And the salesperson comes over. They're not even on commission. But do you need any help? No, I don't need any help. You do need help. You don't know what you're looking at.
No, you don't.
We all lie.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we get the digital body language. It's the truth serum. Putting all those together, there's such a long list of what makes up the Rubiks Cube And I guess what you were getting to is trying to outline what are all those things that people might want, need, and be interested in to create sort of a donor dossier so that the fundraiser can connect the dots.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least qualify and prioritize who's most likely. This is a more scientific way than like the capital campaign giving chart. Right? So the capital campaign giving chart, you're going to say, okay, these 4 people are likely to give at this level and these at this level and these, 500 at that level. And that's all cool. But just imagine, the truth is that behind that simple little chart is a million little colors on a bunch of different Rubiks Cubes, if you will, whereby we're trying to see if someone wants fame or notoriety for all time and they want their name on that building.
Or they may give because that's what their family, it's a dynasty that their family's always given to this organization. And
Yep. Or maybe they just want their name on a list so they're not left out. Or maybe they want to do it so that they can commemorate their mom.
Yeah.
Honor their mom.
Or obligation out of that organization helping them in a big way. Maybe they were poor a long time ago. They got help and now they're achieving a lot and
they want to repay. So without going through that humongous list, there's a great book that's called The 7 Faces of Philanthropy. So if our listeners ever want to really dig down into all those little pieces, I'll save you guys 10 minutes of us just building up a list here, but I would recommend that book on Amazon. I don't know, maybe it's $20. 7 Faces of Philanthropy. Pick that up. So that's the wants, needs, and interests. Philosophizing.
I like it.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Engagement Fundraising. If you like the show, make sure to review it on iTunes and pass it along to a friend or colleague. If you're curious about what we do, make sure to check out iMarketSmart.com. And don't miss Diane Remen's webinar on how to ask for major gifts, available at www.imarketsmart.com/Remin. That's REMIN. We'll be back next Thursday to discuss job titles for fundraisers. Thanks for listening.